To many fans out there, football fans, the NFL draft is like Christmas Day. It's like opening up that nice little present, and that present just might be a quarterback with a rocket arm, like a Peyton Manning or Tom Brady. It might be a super quick and super fast running back, like a Barry Sanders or a Walter Payton. It might be a wide receiver that could jump in the air, jump through space, and just catch everything, like a Calvin Johnson or a Jerry Rice. It might be an offensive tackle that just becomes a Hall of Famer, and is just the rock of your offensive line, just leading the way and just opening up holes and protecting your franchise quarterback. It might be a shutdown corner like a Champ Bailey, or maybe like a Deion Sanders. It might be, a mean, tough, lean middle linebacker like a Ray Lewis. I mean, that's what the NFL draft is for NFL fans like me. So if you're an NFL fan, I want you to watch this video. All right, I want you to just look at the whole dynamic of the first round of the NFL draft, because that's what most people are going to pay attention to. And just looking at the overall aura of the NFL draft and how over some of the years you have some guys that were all hype coming into the league and they just never ever delivered at all. All right, I can go down the list. We can take a ride on the hype train if that's what y'all want to do. All right, but I'm not here to do that. It's the WC here with a break. I can't say it's a breakdown. It's an NFL Draft 2014 preview. All right, I'm just going to be listing off the players that you probably should be paying attention to. I'm probably going to go through the top 10 teams because those are definitely the worst teams in the NFL. The top 10, and my team, honestly, the Washington Redskins. We traded 3 draft picks to the Rams, and I'll get to them a little bit later in this video. We traded our three picks to the Rams, and we don't have that second overall pick, which probably would have been that offensive lineman. And I'll mention him a little bit later in the video. Matter of fact, in a couple of seconds. But I just want to put that out there. My team is the Redskins. You know what I'm saying? Just let you guys know. But just going down the line, I'm going to be talking about the top 10, the top 10 teams and their needs. And I'm going to be talking about other teams and what their needs are. The most important teams that need to really cash in the NFL draft and make an impact if they want to do anything next year. All right. As we know that some of these teams are just on the brink of having one player or maybe 2 players away from being in the playoffs or not being in the playoffs. That's just how important the NFL draft is. Well, let me just let me get into this. I think it's safe to say that Clowney from out of North Carolina is probably the best overall player in this draft. I think that you can't say that he reminds you of anybody because he ran the fastest that I think a DN has ever ran ever at the NFL Combine. So you can't say this guy is like somebody, but he kind of reminds me of a Bruce Smith. He looks like the type of guy that just has a high motor, that just has a strong upper body, that's deceivingly quick. You know what I'm saying? I think that he could be a difference maker. Now, some people will say, they just compare him to Mario Williams, like he's another Mario Williams, or one of those type of players, or DeMarcus Ware type. Honestly, I think that this guy is a little bit more quicker than both of those guys, and that he'll ultimately be just a little bit more agile than both of those guys. Now, just going down, the Redskins traded that second overall pick, like I said before, or that first round pick that turned out to be the second overall pick to the Rams. The Rams should probably go offensive lineman with Greg Robinson. I don't know if they will, but that's just what my thought is. Just going into this real quickly, the Jaguars look like the type of team. All right, there's just another team in here that just need everything. All right, they need a quarterback. They need offensive linemen. They need a whole bunch of other stuff, man. And the same thing with the Houston Texans taking Clowney first overall. That's a safe pick. All right. If you're the Houston Texans, you do not take Johnny Manziel first overall. All right. Don't get on the hype train. I'm gonna tell you why you don't take. Honestly, I don't think that you should probably take Manziel in the first round at all, for real. So all you to all you people out there, all right. And I'll bring up another guy, and I'll say the initials TT right now, just to tease you people. All right, y'all people out there that's watching this video, I'll say the initials TT, and I'm gonna get back to that and later on in this video. You stick around here, yeah, yes sir. All right, now the Jaguars should probably take Mac with their pick if he's still on the board right around there at number 3, number 4, number 5, wherever the Jaguars pick. I know that they definitely in the top 5 for sure, as bad as they've been. The Cleveland Browns is one of those teams that I look at and I say, this is probably where Manziel's probably going to go. All right, but it's just one of those things. And if I'm Cleveland, I definitely take a look at Sammy Watkins, pairing him up with Gordon, and seeing what they can do. I really do. I just hope that they do that. Um, Another team to look at, just going down the draft line list. All right, just going down the draft, and this might be a little bit out of order, but I just want to talk about these teams in the first round, what their needs are, and the players that might fit them. Um, the Oakland Raiders. The Oakland Raiders are just another team that needs everything. Even though they went out and they traded for Matt Schaub, they still need a quarterback. They still need another quarterback. And I don't think that Schaub is, too far off from being where he was maybe a couple years ago. But, still they need another guy to, just bring him in there and try to develop him. The Raiders just another team that just needs everything. You can say they can go offensive lineman here, they can go quarterback here, they can go offensive lineman, which they probably should. They should probably look at a guy like Jake Matthews, but he might slide down to the Falcons. You know what I'm saying? Jake Matthews from out of Texas A&M. I mean, it's just one of those things, man, where you just look at a lot of these teams, and you say that a lot of these teams just need a lot of things. I just talked about the Falcons. The Falcons, you can say that the Falcons are probably a couple, offensive tackles or interior linemen away from being a threat. I mean, you're looking at Matt Ryan and you say, this guy is still a very, very good quarterback. Their wide receivers were Roddy White and Jones. They traded up a couple years ago for Jones. That's panned out pretty well for them. But, there was times where Matt Ryan just got destroyed in the pocket. So they probably trying to work on their interior line. That's what I expect for them to do in the first round. Looking at the Buccaneers, Buccaneers is just another team that just needs everything, man. I mean, say what you want. They need a quarterback. You need you really can't say that they need a running back with Doug Martin, and they had backups running for touchdowns in Tampa Bay last year. So you really can't say that a running back or wide receiver is like a real big need for them. If I'm the Bucks, I probably still go offense. Don't be surprised if the Bucks do go quarterback. I mean, it's been a while since you've seen the Bucks really go out on a limb and take a quarterback in the first round, and there's plenty of them out there. You can look at Bridgewater, you can look at a whole bunch of other quarterbacks in the first round. That, hey, if you're looking for a quarterback, Tampa, you should probably take one in this draft. Blake Bortles and stuff. There's another quarterback out there that, hovering right around 8. For Minnesota and other teams like that to probably take. The Lions really don't need a quarterback. They got Matthew Stafford. They don't need a wide receiver. Well, maybe they do need another wide receiver. You can look at the Lions and say they probably need another wide receiver or interior lineman. They'll probably go maybe safety or corner, because they did have some coverage problems last year. Getting beat on the deep pass, and they probably want to sharpen that up. So expect for Detroit to look for maybe a safety or a corner or a strong safety. Looking at a team like Tennessee, man, Tennessee is one of those tricky teams. Like, you give up Chris Johnson, and I'm still debating on whether that was the right decision for them to do. Giving up on Chris Johnson. I don't know if they went out and they addressed that in the free agency, picking up another running back. But you look at Tennessee, and it's like Jake Locker got hurt last year. They have pretty good wide receivers. The offensive line is, I expect for them to probably go either offensive lineman or or maybe defensive tackle, something that they probably need to work on, getting a rush up the middle. That's probably what the Titans need to do. Looking at the Giants, man, the Giants have been one of those teams, man, where Eli took a lot of hits last year. He threw a lot of interceptions last year, and I'd expect for the Giants to probably go O line. You know, there's a guy out there from Michigan, Taylor, that you should probably look for. You know, right around there. I'll probably be a good fit for him. I mean, the reason why I'm not really naming off specific players because a lot of these people around here don't know who these players are. I mean, really. I mean, these players are, you know, pretty darn good, but they're not household names like a Manziel who's on your screen, you know, every single second. And like I said, I haven't forgot about him. Y'all stick around for him. All right. I'm gonna go in on Johnny Manziel. Like I said, TT. Y'all remember those initials? All right, a little bit later on this video, man. Hopefully this video ain't gonna be too much more longer, but just want to go through the first round, talk about the teams that's picking in the first round. Um, Looking at the Chicago Bears, I mean Chicago's just another one of those teams where it's just like they're just a couple players away. So expect for them to go maybe super safety, look for a guy like Calvin Pryor, you know what I'm saying, like that. See if they can get him into the fold, look for a player like that maybe. The Steelers. Even though the Steelers are taking a lot of hits and a lot of those guys that was a part of that, that championship winning defense have gone away, I think that this is probably the perfect spot for them to take a guy like Anthony Barr, from out of UFC. They need to reshore up that 3-4 with those linebackers. You run a 3-4, you got to have linebackers. So, I'd expect for them to look for a guy like that if Barr is still on the board by then, because he might just go higher. Dallas Cowboys, I mean, they got Dez Bryant, they got Tony Romo. Like I said, I'm a Redskins fan, so I'm a little biased when I talk about the Cowboys. But non-biasedly, I think that the Cowboys really need to work on their interior line. They should probably go offensive tackle. They should probably go corner. Their defense, they should probably try to replace DeMarcus Ware with a DN, but they're probably not going to do that. They're probably just going to try to get a DN later on in the draft and try to mold him. So that's what I expect for them to do. Baltimore needs a linebacker. Let's just say it like that. I'm a Ravens fan, part-time Ravens fan. So I know what they definitely need. They need a linebacker. They need to look there. The Jets are just another team that just needs everything. In my opinion. All right. Everything starts with the offensive line. So maybe they should go offensive line. Maybe they should go defensive line. I wouldn't be surprised if they go corner if there's one there. There's a lot of wide receivers in this draft, so honestly, they might just go wide receiver first round. Wouldn't be surprised if they did. Same thing for the Saints. I think that they let a lot of those guys go. A lot of those key guys go for Drew Brees to throw the ball to. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Saints go wide receiver in the first round. As far as the Cardinals go, the Cardinals are one of those teams where, their offensive line is pretty darn okay. I mean, they were just on the brink of being in the playoffs last year. So their offensive line is not too big of a problem. The only problem is that I see with them is that they probably need a quarterback. So I'd expect for them to try to go quarterback, but if they don't go quarterback, they'll probably go like, linebacker or a corner or, safety over the top. They'll probably go that route because their defense was pretty okay, pretty stellar. For a good part of the season was the Cardinals defense. Then you look at the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay, I think it's safe to say that Green Bay probably needs to go defensive backfield, and get themselves maybe a corner. I think that they're pretty good at linebacker, and D tackle. So I think that they'll probably go defensive secondary for real. With their pick in the first round. If you look at the Eagles don't. I can safely say that the Eagles really don't have too many weaknesses. I mean, they're pretty well to put together team, but they did give up Deshaun Jackson, who is now a Redskin right now, and you'd be like, oh, you're a Redskins fan. They got you got Deshaun Jackson. You should be doing backflips. I'm like, well, we'll see if he does it on the field. You know what I'm saying? It's for real. So I'd expect for the Eagles to try to replace, Deshaun Jackson with a speedy receiver when they're coming in a little bit later on in the first round. The Chiefs' biggest obstacle, I think, is probably a defensive tackle, maybe a linebacker. Someone that can plug up the middle to basically plug up those holes for them. That's what I expect for the Chiefs to probably do. Um, looking at the Bengals got, embarrassed by the Chargers in the playoffs last year because of the fact that they really didn't have any corners that could keep up with their wide receivers. So I expect for them to go, corner in the first round with their pick. Going on to the Chargers, the team that just beat them. The Chargers probably are the type of team right now that, I don't know if they go running back here. I wouldn't be surprised if they go running back, but they're probably going to go defense, probably defensive tackle, maybe linebacker, maybe corner. But if I'm a Chargers fan, I'm like, y'all need to go get another running back because, Matthews and Woodhead, good combination, but they just need a guy that they can just get a ball to at least 15 times a game, and I don't think that Matthews has proven that yet. You know what I'm saying? Going on to the Dolphins. The Dolphins are just another one of those teams that's on the brink of the playoffs, man. Like I said, man, if they get a good defensive tackle or something, hey, they could be right there in the playoff chase, man. I mean, really. So look for them to probably go defensive tackle or a guard or something. Maybe they go inside. They don't think that they don't definitely need a quarterback or a running back. They might go wide receiver. Those are their needs. Carolina, them losing Steve Smith is just, I'm still kind of shocked by that. So, Carolina might shock people and go corner, but they should go wide receiver. And if they have to trade up to get one, that's what they should probably do. I already spoke about the Jaguars. They need everything. San Francisco, we already know what San Francisco going to do. I mean, San Francisco is probably just going to come along and pick up another big, fat offensive tackle, come through and just, I'm saying offensive tackle a lot because offensive tackle is basically, the bread and butter of what a football team is made of. You know what I'm saying? Just made of those big, fat, nasty dirt bags down below. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, Looking at Minnesota is one of those teams like they don't need a running back for right now. They might need to get another one to kind of spell Adrian Peterson because at the rate he's going, he'll be done in the next 4 years. I mean, they just can't keep feeding the ball to him. So they probably go quarterback. Maybe David Carr in the first round. Maybe you look at it, and then the Seahawks have a first round pick. But I mean, the Seahawks need a wide receiver. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go after a Calvin Benjamin late first round to try to add in some speed with Harvin, and they brought back what's that guy's name? I can't think of it off the top of my head. Sidney Rice brought back Sidney Rice, so maybe they don't go wide receiver. Maybe they go offensive guard or something. Maybe they just try to show up their offensive line to keep Russell Wilson on his feet. But yeah, that's basically the first round. And don't you know what? I'm gonna give y'all what y'all wanted for. I'm gonna give y'all what y'all wanted. I waited this long. It's about 18, 19 minutes into the video. All right. When I said the initials TT, I meant Tim Tebow. Okay, Tim Tebow, Johnny Manziel, Tim Tebow. You want to know the difference between Johnny Manziel and Tim Tebow is? Not much. All right. One is just that all-American, national championship winning guy. And then the other one is just Mr. Flair, Mr. Excitement. Hasn't really won that national championship for you. But he definitely has the tools to win it. But at the same time, I don't see Manziel being a star in the NFL. I'm sorry. I don't see it. I'm not buying the hype. All right. And like, I did a video basically defending his stance on college athletes not being able to get paid for doing some of the stuff that they do, and I stand behind him on that. But as far as him being like a top guy in the NFL draft, no. I mean, he's probably going to get picked within the top 5 or definitely within the top 10. Somebody's going to take him, but I'm not feeling the hype. Same thing with Bridgewater. I'm not feeling the hype. I mean, that's basically what the NFL draft is at the end of it. You guys have been listening to me this long. I appreciate it. Make sure that y'all like, comment, and subscribe. It's 20 minutes of a complete breakdown of the NFL draft. You know, did I talk about your team? Did I miss out on your team? Is your team even in the first round? Let me know down below. It's a complete breakdown in the NFL draft, first round edition. You know, if your team wasn't picking in the first round, probably didn't talk about them. So WC, drop a like, drop a comment, go ahead, subscribe with your peoples, man. You know, no music is cutting me off on this one because you know it is what it is. TT, when y'all think about Manziel, think about Tim Tebow. I'm sorry, just think about I just think about the same stuff, just a lot of hype. And when it comes to delivering in the NFL, I don't know if Manziel can do it. Tebow wasn't able to do it, and if Tebow can't do it, I guess that Manziel can't do it either because they kind of mirror each other. Nobody wants to bring that up. You know, I don't know why, but it's the WC. I'm gone for right now. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe. Tell your friends about me. It's the NFL Draft 2014 on YouTube. Yeah. Till next time. Peace.